And good evening, everybody. I am Willie Gillespie, and we are starting on this very sad day for the people of Florida, as the devastation is so close. I'm Willie Gillespie, and I hope you've enjoyed your day so far on this Friday, September 8th, 2017. We are live on the air on YouTube.com, and we are following the latest in Hurricane Irma. But first, before we get to the exciting stuff, we're starting off here at home, where we are all clear across the board. Right now we have no rain, and that is good news. So I want to flip this back over to our system. Right now we are 63 degrees. It feels like 63 up there, and we have barely any wind right now. We have 1 mile per hour gusts. That's out of the northwest. So that's keeping us a little cool. It is very cool for this time of season. 75 degrees is our average high. We only hit 63 today, so this is our high temperature. And 55, our average low. 54 is what we got down to tonight. And, well, actually, let's see. We're going to go down to about 55 degrees tonight. Usually the low of the day is in the morning, so that's when we got our low, and that is when we got the 54 degrees. So just a little, fun fact there. But I want to talk about our 7-day quickly, because I have a lot to talk about for Hurricane Irma. So tonight we'll get down to 53 degrees, and tomorrow we'll start up sunny at 67 and a low of 50, getting down to 49 on Sunday morning and a high of 68, and sunny conditions getting into the work week. Finally, a little warm-up, 72 degrees on Monday, and sunny conditions, low of 54. We go into Tuesday, and we have a high of 76 degrees, a low of 57. Wednesday, high of 74, low of 55. Almost a carbon copy on Thursday, except partly cloudy conditions. Same temperatures. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 77, and a low of 59. Same thing on Saturday, mostly sunny, high 77, low 59. And Sunday, partly cloudy, and high of 74 and a low of 56. So we are going to take a look at our Doppler radar, and Florida, the whole nation is watching. The whole nation is watching Hurricane Irma, and in its latest path, we're going to go right into it here. This is what we have on the high-resolution Doppler radar right now. So you can see it is near Cuba. You can only see my hand at this time because I'm more focused on what's on the screen than my body right now. So that's why. Anyway, our leading edge is about to hit the Bahamas. You can see right there on the Doppler radar. Actually, if we zoom in, the edge here is just hit the Bahamas, and you can see it is moving into position. Our track brings it not into the Bahamas, but they will get some outside rain from this outside corner there. But this brings it up near Sagua Grande and into parts of Cuba. But then, the devastating track we've all been waiting for, Key West, the Florida Keys, directly in the path of this system. And we're getting a reading right now. This is Hurricane Irma, Category 4 hurricane. And, oh boy, this is just depressing. Sustained winds at 155 miles per hour, gusts at 190 miles per hour right now. And so we're going to continue to watch the system as it goes. Looking at this generated model, this brings it to Sagua Grande at about tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, sorry, at 1 p.m. And that is still a Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of 155 miles per hour. Bring this into the Florida zone, and this is going to be, it's actually strengthened back to a Category 5 hurricane. So this may hit Florida as a Category 5. The recent models are predicting 1 a.m. on, I believe that is Sunday morning. We have a Category 5 hurricane just miles away from Key West. So this red dot here in Key West, oh so close, and hurricane warnings in effect, obviously, for this area. I want to measure the distance quickly for you, but you can see this is not good. Only about 50 miles away from Key West. In Marathon, we are only about 50 miles away as well, and the landfall in Florida only about 80 miles away from this point, and that is not good. So the latest models, as I've been saying, look like it could hit Florida as a Cat 5. But if we go to this next dot here, I'm not sure if that is agreeing with that statement. This brings it down to a Category 4 with sustained winds at 145 miles per hour. I'm not too sure about that. If it were to hit landfall here in your homestead in Cutler Bay, if the eye of the storm hit landfall here, it would be a Category 5 hurricane. So really the distance is only about 50, 70 miles, but still, if it hit this point right here, a Category 5 hurricane, up here it'll be a Category 4 because the eye won't be as focused. It'll be weakened by this area, but a direct hit to this area could mean a Category 5 hurricane. And obviously these hurricane warnings are in effect now, and I want to go quickly to that. Yeah, here we go. This is including the latest equivalent Category 4 hurricane winds here, 110 to 130 mile per hour winds, gust to 175 mile per hour winds, and we have extreme threat to life and property right now. Emergency plans should include a reasonable threat for a major hurricane force wind greater than 110 miles per hour of equivalent Category 3 intensity or higher. Aggressively prepare for potential of catastrophic winds, and this is just going to be horrible for the people of Florida and in this area. So right now, I want to talk about obviously what we want to talk about is the models for the system. So I don't know if my head's going to be in this way, but I'm sorry we lost the audio there for a second. We're going to be back live in just a second. Please hold on. And I'm sorry about the technical difficulties there. We had some issues with our audio, but we are back live on the air as we were before. I'm sorry. But we're going to go quickly to our weather bug model, and we have this stating that the hurricane is expected to go right up the coast of Florida. So I was saying before that if this were to happen, it would be a Category 5 hurricane. I'm not sure this model is agreeing with me, but by the way it looked on my model, I just showed it on the TV here, the big screen. It looked as if it hit the south part of Florida, the southern tip of Florida, a Category 5 storm, devastating impacts, way stronger than Harvey could be likely, and it is getting ever so closer. You can see this brings it actually up as a tropical depression into the state of Tennessee up there, so this is going to be a big storm. And then I want to go to, this is the weather bug model. We're going to go to the weather underground model, and this is also predicting as I did it. Or is it, I think it's actually showing, not what the TV model was showing here, that it's going to slant just slightly off to the west, which would obviously mean better conditions for the people of Florida, and that would probably indicate most likely a Category 4 hurricane. And you can see all models are agreeing 2 a.m. Sunday morning. This system will be a Category 5, but you can see by the time landfall is expected, a Category 4 hurricane is anticipated at this time. So we're going to continue to watch that for you, and if anything changes, we will immediately alert you of that. I want to go to our rainfall model next. This is another. This is actually showing how much rain the area will be getting, and that's important if you were in this area. But you can see by this model, it's showing that probably the Keys will get the most rain, and then the the worst after that will probably fall on the southern tip of Florida. This rain model shows that it is agreeing with me by bringing it right up Florida, and this is actually as of 3:35 p.m. Central Time. So this is pretty significant data here. This is very new, and you can see it indicates that the southern tip of Florida will get probably 10 to 15 inches, and then the Keys possibly 20 or even higher. So we're going to continue to watch this model for you as it continues to increase and decrease, and we're going to watch this as it goes over the next 48 hours, because these will be crucial for the people of Florida, as this is going to make landfall extremely soon. Now, hold on, we have one more audio issue we haven't fixed yet, so we're going to get right back on the air in just a second. Please hold. Sorry about the issue there, folks. When you're going live, it can't always be perfect, but here is another one of our models. This is a storm surge from the National Weather Service. The dark gray areas is where the worst storm surge will be. This model is agreeing with the TV one, which is saying it will probably veer off to the left, because that is where the most gray is. But you can see some models are suggesting, the southwestern, really far down tip of Florida there will get the worst impacts, and that's just to show you where exactly we're getting things from and how these models are really generated. But anyway, going back to the TV, because we are always focusing on this model here, and this is obviously showing the same exact thing, just different proportions. But you can see almost all of Florida under a hurricane warning, and even the north central part under a hurricane watch at this time. And we have it on our Doppler radar. This is just barreling in. Now, I want to put this on satellite, because this looks really interesting on the satellite model. So let me see if I can pull that up for you. Sometimes we have some difficulties with our Doppler radar system here, but maybe it'll look for us. There we go. And that is a nice picture of the aerial view of Hurricane Irma there. You can see how massive this thing is. It is huge, and it's bigger than the size. It's bigger than Florida. It's bigger than the width of Florida, and this is just going to be devastating for the people there, because if you're in the southern part, you're going to be affected. If you're in this area, you're going to be affected, because the hurricane is going to cover you at some point, and it just really, it's not going to be a good story for the people over there. And I feel really bad, because this is not going to be good, and people hopefully have tried their best to prepare. And we have a tropical storm watch actually in effect here for San Juan. They might get a double whammy as we're watching this another hurricane. This is a little weaker, not as big of a deal. This is Hurricane Jose. Right now it's a Category 4 hurricane. They crossed paths. You can see Irma and Hurricane Jose crossed paths at one time, but you can see this may actually verge off to the British Virgin Islands, and maybe even hit Puerto Rico. So we're going to continue to monitor this. This track is suggesting it's going to kind of spin off and die off somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, and not cause any harm to anybody. But we're focusing on Irma obviously as it's developing, and we are live here at Willie's Weather Channel. And we're going to be back in just a second. I need a water break. But you know what? We'll be back in just a second. So please stay and enjoy the broadcast, and stay tuned to Willie's Weather Channel. And good evening, everybody. We are back live and constantly tracking Hurricane Irma as it continues its devastating path. So, where is Hurricane Irma right now? Well, that's a very interesting question because I can answer that for you. And if we put it on the Doppler radar and we put it in motion, it is just astounding to see. Really, I'm so surprised that this thing is. It's huge, and that is what is concerning many people in the area. I don't know if my model isn't working right or what I screwed up here because I can't get an image of the hurricane. If I put it in future, can I get a model of the hurricane? Let's see. There we go. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't do it in path, but alright, here's the future, and we're going to get that spinning for you to add a little effect, but also to show you where this is going to go. And you can see right now we're watching this near Cuba and parts of the Virgin Islands here, and we're watching for this to head towards Bahamas and then eventually towards Florida. So this is really going to be a devastating track, and really Florida Keys is going to be the worst area affected by this hurricane warnings that affect across all of Florida right now. And I don't know why this isn't playing. There we go. Alright, there we go. Get some motion in there. You can see this is really moving a slow pace, only about 15 miles per hour. But as you can see, it is spinning away over in the Atlantic Ocean, and really it's creating, these are called squalls. And the first one actually may hit Florida by Saturday night. And you watch how they develop, and then they, kind of decrease, and then they redevelop. There it is on the map. You can see how they redevelop in sort of a line formation. No severity in this. I think actually they may hit, okay, wow, look at that. Actually, that brings the opening act of this hurricane. Hold on, I want to stop it right here. Can I do that? Nope. Okay, but anyway, I want to go back to this because this is really interesting. This model whacks it into Florida by 11:45 p.m. tonight. The opening act will be in Florida by 11:45. You can see the rain is already falling. This is the area we need to focus on, but the rain starts falling at about 12 a.m. And I think this model may be a little ahead of itself, but anyway, you can see just this is really a good model because this is showing that it may hit Florida by about 12 a.m. Definitely, it'll start raining there, and these winds, oh Jesus, the winds extend over 200 miles. So they're going to start getting winds probably around the same time they're getting this rain falling. You can see it's going to be impacting all the way up, and I don't know how far this goes, but look at the massive size of this thing. It actually extends it all the way up into more parts of central Florida there. That is huge. So I'm not sure what we have here. This might be a frontal boundary. I turn that on, the frontal boundary. Maybe not a frontal boundary. Anyway, that is just amazing. Yep, there's a frontal boundary. I thought that was right. But as you can see here, this is kind of a line of some rain. It may be attached to Irma. It may not be. I'm probably going to say it's not, but you can see, this front is kind of pushing into Florida, and, could get a pretty big rainstorm here. But we're watching this as it's going to move towards the southern tip of Florida. I'm sorry I have to cut the broadcast so short, everybody, but I have to eat some dinner. I'm starving, and obviously we are going to continue monitoring this as it's every move. And we will have live updates as they happen in the comments section of our YouTube page, and we're also going to post where you can get more details about Hurricane Irma on our YouTube page in the comments section. So I'll tell you when that goes on. Anyway, have a great evening, everybody. Thank you for watching Willie's Weather Channel, and I hope you have a great day. Stay safe out there, everybody.